best $1 million puck performance, and we know, of course, Bulldog to be the best at what he does. I mean, hell, Ohio has said himself that the reason he has learned to play such a good Nature's Prophet, he's the number 2 Nature's Prophet to Bulldog's number 1. And even that gap is huge between the both of them, and he said he got that good because he watched Bulldog play Nature's Prophet and learned from that. I mean, you just can't simulate Alliance, and plus they've been playing together for so long.
Yeah.
It's a tall order.
Yeah, a lot of these teams, like, they have very similar drafts to Alliance. Like, super similar.
They try.
Yeah, they try, but it's nowhere close. Well, Swindle Melons maybe was saying, oh, if Alliance had this draft, they would have won easily. And teams just try it and they just do it. You can't mimic that synergy.
So we are into the draft of the second game of the winners bracket final, so we will be getting on the way with that very shortly. Alliance 1 game up against Fnatic, and they will want to win the second game as well to basically 2 days off, get an early dinner, and force Fnatic to still play a last series against Team Spirit. Decide who goes into the
yes, Dakota.
and Earth Spirit, yeah.
Fnatic plays.
One of the few times he made it through.
Don't you know? So you're okay with giving up Wiston?
I mean, that's the trade-off, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen Alliance actually play much of Earth Spirit. I mean, you would know more than
EGM
others. Does EGM play
right?
Earth Spirit?
I ain't saying anything.
I have not personally seen them play, and I fiend Earth Spirit. It's disgusting. I know. I watch who plays it a lot, and personally, I haven't seen much Alliance play. I've seen Fnatic play at both Ohio and
they took bench.
Can you go into this Shanghai major knowing that Earth Spirit is going to be super high contested and not having an Earth Spirit player? It is very difficult to believe.
I'll tell you, he plays the hero.
Okay.
Yes.
He plays the hero.
I have to play it now.
Earth Spirit and IO, too greedy?
Yes, because I know that they don't practice it.
But both of the heroes are played by the same player.
I think I've seen Ake play Wisp before, but preferably they would obviously have EGM
Earth Spirit
play
works with anything.
It's like Loda's never played it. He's like, just play it, Loda.
Yeah.
Around for hot potato Earth. You would have loved that, Dakota. Ben was so excited to list why Earth Spirit's a BS hero.
Well, no.
Oh, they ignored both.
This can't happen.
None of that Earth Spirit bullshit right there. Like,
This can't happen.
No Earth Spirit, no Wisp.
Okay, explain to me. Even if no Earth Spirit, no Wisp, fine. No OD, no anything. You go for Puck. Why Puck?
You don't do OD. I don't think you can just open OD first 2 anyways.
I think that they have a specific strat, like maybe sometimes, you know, because you're so predictable, you want to use it against the enemy, like they think that you are going to go for this, but you go for something else. Maybe you have another set of plans that you haven't really showed. Because the first game for Alliance, they see it, okay, this first game it was actually really close, so we need to do something else. Because before that, they were probably trying to conserve as much strategies as they can, and right now, because they feel this opponent might threaten to beat them, so they're going to use some of the things that they prepared for the event.
Mind games?
I like it.
I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, it's just a reasoning why they might be doing this.
Be the first.
I mean, they're a game up. They have the luxury to try something, right? Or to at least try to not reveal anything they have prepared for later on.
Yeah, but at the same time, they might be thinking, a 2-0. You know what a 2-0 means? It means a lot. So they want to be able to use one of their strats to even. I think if you win this game with one of your strats, I think it's worth it. If you have burn one of your strats, this game is really important for them.
Puck first pick?
Yep, and Fnatic removes Sturz here, so not allowing that hero to go into Alliance hands, and they have like a very standard bench invoker. We saw this opening a few times yesterday. Some were successful, some were not successful. I think the unsuccessful ones were against MVP because they did the Phantom Lancer mid, and they had like some roaming bounty on the Earth Spirit to pressure the Exalt invoker a lot.
Played, out of all the teams that I've seen play Dota in a really long time, they played fastest Dota, and I know.
You mean MVP?
MVP, yeah. It was like, I know people talked about it looked fast, but if you watch the replays, like they barely take time to farm neutrals, even in between pushes.
Yeah.
They just go one after the other.
I think
like nobody plays it that
a little similar to that as well. They do play a bit fast as well. Maybe not as fast as them, but the way they play revolves around very fast-paced Dota as well.
The one thing I really liked about Fnatic in the series that I had to cast, was like every single time I cast Fnatic, it feels like there's zero game plan. In all honesty, I just feel like Mushi's just like, hey guys,
you like it because there's zero.
No. But Mushi just seems to come into tournaments. He's like, guys, just be prepared for everything. He just like gives his team like 20 heroes to play and stuff, and it shows sometimes. But this time around, it really feels like he's narrowed it down. Like, this is what we're gonna focus on. He's not just gonna give a random Mirana or something and like we
Yeah,
haven't practiced it. Let's just do
that
it.
is actually really true, honestly. You're really observant about how they pick, like between different events. This event, they definitely have narrowed down a lot of picks that they used before, and yeah, they have been more focused, I'd say, like to try and optimize their performance. Because if you have to play so many heroes, it's kind of hard for you to play good like every game.
Yeah.
If you just play like, let's say 3 heroes, 4 heroes, it's easier for you to focus in the game.
Question regarding bans of Alliance. They ban out a lot of Bulldogs heroes.
Pick?
What's he gonna pick?
Void.
I mean, Viper is still in the pool as well. He actually used to play that.
They have Witch Doctor if they take Void.
Yep.
He played Puck too. I mean, I haven't seen him. I know he played Puck in the past,
he
but I
played Puck in
haven't
the
seen
past.
it.
Did you see that? They like flashed his face and then flashed yours.
Oh,
They're
perfect.
memeing on purpose.
Yeah, right?
Shiva, what is Bulldog gonna play this game?
Oh,
Weaver. Actually, I was gonna say Weaver. Did I say it before I showed it? Did I show it?
No, you did not.
I did not.
Isn't that
Well,
Legacy Road, though?
it's okay.
Yeah, he plays the hero.
He plays
But
it. He plays it quite a
Loda
bit actually.
plays
He
it.
actually picked it
Yeah,
in
no,
Standard
Loda
as
plays
well.
the hero too, right?
Yeah,
he
Loda
used
plays
to
the
play
hero.
Clockwork. That hero died,
Oh yeah.
but
Oh, yeah.
Spirit, there
Oh,
it is.
yeah.
Can't take him now. Or
OS
Spirit
Frog
bounces
himself.
Clockwork. You want a cog? Sorry. Cool.
Yeah, but at the same time, we saw like teams that are dealing with Earth Spirit. They pick Puck because Puck is a hero that's very hard to be pressured by Earth Spirit. Early, so maybe they were also anticipating that. Oh, okay, we're giving up the Earth Spirit now, so maybe Fnatic are gonna pick Earth Spirit. So we want a mid hero that doesn't get pressured by Earth Spirit.
I know.
Okay,
they
that's
still
so
go
that's-
for the
that's
Earth Spirit,
plan.
seeing that.
That is
though.
the plan. So
Yeah.
Lane.
I'm surprised that Fnatic took the bait. They're like, someone's got to take Earth Spirit.
I
We're
mean,
gonna
it's,
take
it's
it.
better this time around that they are actually picking more. Like you guys talk about maybe Fnatic needing to go for more late game, but right now Alliance feel like the last game they don't go so smooth. So I don't think I want to play slow game anymore. So they're going for they're dire. They want to go for a very fast paced game. They go for Drow, so you can take Roshan easily. You have heroes that help you win the lane, the aura to help you win the lanes for the Puck and the Weaver. So you see a clear change of plan for Alliance. They're not going to play slow versus Fnatic because it's very dangerous.
You can do offlane dual off too. Witch Doctor Weaver. Witch Doctor is one of the better dual offlane heroes. And you've got double draw aura. Almost
Yeah.
any carry is gonna get
And
pressure.
not to mention like Weaver, if you actually think about it, he's would actually do really well in the lane if it's only 2 heroes.
Yeah,
potentially.
I think it's gonna be because
That's
one
what's gonna roam.
one of two things happens. Either the Earth Spirit roams and you're okay with that because you're very strong. You have the draw aura, and if he doesn't roam, then you've effectively kept
But
3
what
heroes.
can he do to lane? Like it's hard to do anything to the pump.
You can't effectively get
Either you
caught.
help the off lane or you stay in the safe lane. So those are his options, I guess.
They have all the silence now between Drow and Puck. It's gonna be a hard game for Earth.
So Alliance still need another support.
GM's hero?
Did he play Witch Doctor as well? Or mostly just Arcade is the hero?
I think sounds like an Aki hero. Balance of game to me, man.
I think that it's good for them to go Enigma. Just so that they can have also a
Earth
fast
Spirit can
paced
easily
jungling hero.
cancel Black.
It's just the state of the like.
For
I
some
mean,
reason,
it's just for their strategy.
AA bounced out to me, but we haven't
AA.
seen much of AA at all.
We've seen him banned a few times.
Great
That's
with
it.
Weaver, and they have a range with the more buff to the right click, and it's good
I don't
against
think it's
Faceless Void.
because right now I feel like they need like a mech carrier. Like right now they have a very fast paced lineup, but they're lacking a hero that can actually buy the mech for the team so that they can actually play fast paced.
AA is too slow right now. I think the build up for that hero.
Well,
The hero
A is more defensive.
Yeah. What other heroes can actually buy mech on EGM's position right now that he plays?
Or have enough heal that could replace the mech.
you have Witch Doctor heal. It's okay. You're not gonna go Maledict against that lineup anyway. Although it's okay against Void if he's gonna be
For the laning phase,
Yeah.
for the laning phase.
That's what silent.
Is Dazzle even an option?
Dazzle's
Yeah, that's pretty.
What about Keeper?
Keeper of the Light.
Ake's one of my boys who would actually pull it out.
This is super annoying.
They had
It's not
Oracle.
enough to be offensive though. It doesn't go along with pushing forward and going through.
Dude, that heal.
They had Oracle previous game.
I mean, the heals. It will. He gets mech. He's got great heal. Mana Leak's very good against something like Earth
Fnatic's
Spirit.
taking so long.
Blinding Light's good against Faceless
Yeah, because
Void.
they are not very sure at what they want. So
It's okay.
I was the hero I was gonna say.
Someday you'll see the
They
call will
needed a
come out.
chaser.
Oh!
that's the
Abaddon
sustain.
Weaver.
That's the sustain and Abaddon Weaver. So that would probably be their dual lane, I guess. Abaddon plus Weaver off lane. It's gonna be quite annoying for Fnatic to deal with if they don't have very good laning carry.
Isn't that weak versus like a hero who just do so much spread damage though?
It's okay. The band's
wasn't
very
there
good against Earth
recently,
Spirit. You can just shield off Magnetize instantly.
A discussion that you would go for a Legion Commander over Abaddon? And just go for...
No.
It's way versus
for
Satan.
But I think
That's
for
greedy.
Okay.
for support position, a Baron probably is slightly better because you actually offer more in the laning phase. You have your passive if you need it, and
Frostmourne is
yeah,
awesome
Frostmourne
at
is so
pushing.
good.
Okay.
You
Curse
see,
of Avernus.
Fnatic. So I had the idea that
Old school.
they take Disruptor because they needed a hero to catch when they go for the pushes. So I was gonna say Disruptor, but here's the Alliance like insta pick Abba. Like
Yeah,
they knew
because they just
going
want
in.
a 5-man, right? They
Yeah.
want a hero that can sustain. So a Baron can also be the hero that picks up the mech if he actually has to go for it.
Yeah.
So basically, you're not looking to catch too much. Obviously, Puck can catch.
You're waiting for them to come to you.
Yeah, you're just gonna be sieging, and then you're waiting for them to come in so a Baron can actually save the target. So Fnatic has to decide what type of carry they can actually use to defend the pushes. Like they need a fast-paced carry as well that works with the chrono.
5 seconds remaining.
You're going Exort Invoker, plus you have Void off lane. Your carry has to be really active.
Ooh, Sven stands ready.
I always get irked seeing Sven and Faceless Void together. I don't know why. It's just
Too.
you can't really do much with the.
I don't think it utilizes, but it's a hero that they're practicing.
You can cleave creeps outside the chrono in
Yes. Value, please.
value.
Okay, couch 1. I want you to decide amongst yourself which team you're favoring here based on draft.
You're letting me do the decision. If
You always say Fnatic, so I'm waiting for you to say Fnatic again.
I mean, I am going to say Fnatic again because I think that they can do it, and even though
You have to convince
couch number
Ben.
2 doesn't like the Sven plus
Can you
Void,
convince me?
Ken,
5 words,
I don't
one
have
sentence.
I don't have to convince you. I just have to buy mango for you because I know you like mango.
Pour me 2 mangoes and we'll call these.
Okay, couch 2.
Definitely an Alliance house.
I mean, as much as I love Earth Spirit, this is Alliance game in my opinion. So Alliance.
That's my best man. We're going Alliance all the
Even
way.
if they had the shittest draft. you
Yeah,
still
those
go for
guys.
Alliance.
Those guys can like first pick Sven. I'm down.
Okay, well, we're gonna find out which couch has the right of it. It's time for game 2 of Alliance versus Fnatic.
us. I'm hoping you can. If you're out there, you can hear us. We're here with game 2. Lovely.
30 seconds to battle.
What are you looking for?
I mean, I kind of have to side with the Will Dakota couch. I really think that the Alliance got the better end of the draft here. I think that it's going to be quite easy for them to pressure. And the Weaver at Baton lane, I just don't really feel like Fnatic have a good way of dealing with it. Like, how does their team deal with this lane? I mean, maybe the Weaver doesn't get a tremendous amount of farm, but at the very least, I think it's going to be a lot of pressure. And once Loda gets a couple of levels into marksmanship, hit that level 11, you have 4 ranged heroes and an Abba, you can just slow siege, like the couch was saying, just push and push and push. So we'll see what Fnatic can do with this early game Earth Spirit. They also have Venge, which is a fairly strong pairing, and they also have lanes that they can potentially gank for too. Obviously, Mushi's going to have Sven stun, and then you have Venge Magic Missile to follow that. So I think a lot of this is going to depend on what DJ can do. Can find the roam, then I think they could be in good shape here.
Methinks you wanted that.
All right, so it looks like Owen has left us for the time being. So okay, don't yell that loud, my lord. I think everyone in China just heard you there, and all over the world. So it looks like it is going to be a solo Void off lane against the Witch Doctor, and then of course the route in the safe lane is middle lane. Actually, could have a potential first blood here. S4 is going to be able to orb back to safety into the tower. DJ is going to go ahead and walk back there. Just the strength of the Earth Spirit once again being shown. It's going to be forced to salve up, but it's going to be a little bit annoying. But one of the heroes is actually quite difficult to kill.
Oh, I think I fixed it.
Oh,
I hope so. I fixed it. We're live.
all right.
Fantastic.
Did you actually have yourself muted?
I didn't press this. Go on, press this.
All right, just we'll pretend like nothing happened.
Yeah,
Just
let's
continue.
pretend. Yeah, let's do that for the whole last 2 days. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're here. Game 2, Fnatic versus Alliance. What's happening so far, Andy? What have we missed?
Well, a boulder was missed middle lane.
Okay, well, come on, Earth Spirit, step it up, please.
The Earth Spirit just Tokyo
You're meant to be OP. Come on, let's see some more action from that. So this matchup, S4 on the puck against mid one's Invoker. And here we have it. Mid one being harassed back. S4 going for the plays, jumping forward there with Illusory Orb. They'll turn around the course now. Oh, the drive-by from DJ going to get juked out by S4 with the phase shift. Now he has himself back to the high ground, gets himself out of there. The creeps are chasing him. S4 is going to be good to go, and he should be fine. DJ trying to give him the walk down, but he does not have those magical powers to jaunt about. Net bottom lane getting a bit of harassment to the face there from Bulldog as he goes in with the right click. There we go. And now S4 still having a bit of a 1v1 there. Oh, DJ, get yourself away from the bounty. He says there's 4. He's able to claim that on the Earth Spirit. Well, it's all kicking off, but it's still 0-0. No one to die yet, Andy.
It's nice, though, that actually S4 is keeping the Earth Spirit in the middle lane, because as long as he's here, even though it's a little bit annoying that he might have a slower blink timing, it does mean that the bottom lane should go favorably for him.
Oh, mid lane calls down for S4, but hey! He's got phase shift. What a skill. Player.
They are very heavily emphasizing the lane. And it's going to be, looks like an Exort Invoker, at least for the time being, coming out here from mid 1. So they do want to have the Forge Spirits for the extra damage inside of the sphere, and obviously the setup with the Void is going to be good. But I still feel like this this bottom lane is still going to be Admiral Bulldog getting even farm with Mushi. And this hero is one that's kind of similar to Morphling in that he has a really weird mid-game timing, but I feel like with this particular lineup, it supplements him in the fact that he does a good amount of damage, he's hard to kill, and he can siege. Whereas Fnatic, they have a couple of forms of initiation, more notably the Chronosphere, going to be the one they're going to be looking for, but I don't know if they're going to be able to deal with this 15-20 minute timing of Alliance, especially with the lanes not going super well at the moment.
Well, is he top lane a higher? He's going to give it some nice bash onto Ake. It's going to be cool though, he's got the time walk, he's not too scared of these two. But of course getting the nice farm, 17 for 2 at the moment. He's Drow Ranger. Mid lane, still the matchup, 14 for 7 on the Invoker compared to the 12 for 2 on the Pokemon bottom lane. Bulldog's going in. Pops out the swarm. This man hunting for that first blood potential here. Yeah. He's not getting himself out of this one, and Bulldoggy Dog be able to find it, and he will do. The Fairy Fire not enough to save Net, and that's going to be your first blood there, going the way of the Weaver.
That's what I was saying. This lane cannot deal with Weaver or Abaddon. I think this is probably one of the easier lanes to run as well, because if you have double stun, for example, and they're both single target, as long as the Abba's just sitting behind Bulldog, all you have to do is throw out one shield and the stun combination is broken, because both of their stuns can be disjointed. So how do you kill the Weaver? How do you even go on the Abba in this lane? It's just a little bit rough. So who on the side of Fnatic is really going to be able to rotate besides the Earth Spirit?
Talking about rotations, EGM straight away there with the haste rune, looking at Mushi. Bulldog getting the right clicks through the war cry. He's going to allow Mushi to keep himself safe. Backs himself up. But at the moment, going to go that way. And going back to the draft, Drow Ranger, of course, not a hero that we're seeing an awful lot. You know, with the kind of the lineup that Alliance have got, the aura is going to be obviously very nice across the lanes. And also when the pushes do start to happen, having someone like the Abaddon there to provide you that sustain with the shield and with the Mistcoil heal. If Alliance do get the ball rolling, it's going to be a hard one to stop.
Yeah, it's more about the fact that, okay, DJ gonna whiff there.
Ball just quite not reaching loader. Now, just returning. Aggression, forcing a higher back out of the lane. He'll time walk off the last couple of hits.
Well, since they have Exort Invoker and they've been favoring mid one a little bit with the rotations for the Earth Spirit, giving him a little bit of room, that they think that it's okay to just have Chronosphere and then an Exort Invoker on top of that to deal damage inside. And you can still obviously throw like Svenstad in there, Venge as well. But I'm a little bit worried at this point. I mean, the last time I saw Earth Spirit, it was played by MVP, and good God did that hero do work in that game. And I have yet to really see him be able to have the same kind of impact here in this match.
Top lane, trying to have a go at it there, okay, with the paralyzing cast. Gets a couple of bounces in, the tide walk has already been used, but higher gonna be fine, gets himself back under the safety of the tier 1 tower. Still, just 6 minutes and yet to see any kind of really kind of big rotations come out from either side. As both teams playing fairly safe. They're going to have S4 looking for the rune here. DJ, oh, he went for the stun, does miss it. Doesn't matter though, still able to take the rune away from S4.
Like that? Oh, yeah. That rune was still there that whole time? Okay, that's really weird. The fact that that was just a rune just casually sitting there for that long. Very uncommon for that to happen in the game, but... Bushi? No, they're not going to dive him. Bulldog has no mana. Okay, so... Given a static laning phase, Alliance are going to win every single time. The reason that we're seeing here. Like, granted, the Earth Spirit does have a couple of heroes he can gank for. The only target they can go for, I think, in this game is EGM. He's probably the easiest person to kill, prior to him hitting 6, obviously. Because the Weaver to Shikuchi is away, and you can't chase. But if you land a boulder on Abba and full stuns. You could kill him, maybe relieve the pressure from that lane, but it seems like Fnatic instead, they want to go for the higher priority kill. They want to try to either take out Ake and slow down Lotus Farm, or maybe get lucky and be able to kill them both. But this is going to be tough. There is a ward just spotting them all right now, and they are not smoked, so I seriously doubt this is going to work.
And just with both of these wards as well, just Alliance keeping real good control here of the Dire safe lane. So it will be a surprise really if Loda does find himself out of position, and well, net indeed. With no item strat at the moment on this bench.
Bottom tower is under attack.
I had a hard lane, for boots. No, he has enough money for boots. So what is he saving for? Smoke, wards, send. About it.
They really want to find something, but as we said, Alliance, they know what's going on. They know what's happening here. Ake, heads up with CDG. He does manage to get a fairly deep ward here behind the tower. Really want to try and punish this Drow pick. And we get the vision so they can roll in, get the initiation onto the Drow Ranger. It's going to be hard to do so. Loda coming slowly forward. Still, this is a lot of time spent from Fnatic trying to find Loda, and we've seen Loda, he's still been able to get himself in close enough to get the last hits. And it looks like he's going to be fine, and it's just more and more time wasted here for Fnatic.
It's gonna be the story of the game, really. Just what the supports of Fnatic can
So in the wounds there, the D ward from Ake.
Oh my god. This is so painful. Really nice awareness too from Ake, like realizing, okay, they rotated up, they've been sitting here for a while. There's a good probability that they warded just to have the vision for the gank, and with that D ward now, Fnatic just say, okay, well, we can't really do anything there. Gonna go for a smoke. Killing mid is so hard, and look at this rotation from EGM, he's already here!
Well. Yeah.
Okay, they can actually kill EGM, but they can't kill us for. Maybe he dies for this. I think he just came over here to soak experience. He could end up taking the gank.
Let's see. How far forward EGM goes, it could be a bit of a disaster if he does come forward, but again, it's just S4 on the front, and as long as the puck's there at the front to take the brunt of the initiation, EGM will be able to save him. Now EGM might get caught out, he's still behind him, but Fnatic really want to go in whilst S4 is right next to them. There's the potential of them turning around and taking down one of the supports. Still, this is a lot of time from Fnatic spent, and in fact, meanwhile, guys, you got to do something because you're losing your Invoker. Fnatic are just sitting there now. They'll go in with the Chrono. Highest come in with the rotation. EGM's trying to keep S4 alive. He might just be able to do the Storm Armor comes through. S4 can he get himself by S4? Phase shift gets himself away with the orb, and they've actually lost two here on the side of Fnatic. Mushi's coming as well, trying to desperately help out the side. But this, Fnatic, this is not the game plan that they were looking for. They lose two. They were looking for a rotation themselves towards the mid, and Alliance, they're just on top of it.
If that Sven leveled stun, S4 was definitely dead there. It's a level 1 Sven stun. He, even if it was level 2, I think he might have died, just for the extra 75 there, so really unfortunate they get really nothing engagement. Tornado EMP gonna be thrown out here. Mid one opts to go for Quaswex. I thought he was gonna go Exort after seeing what he did at level 3, but I suppose he feels that mana burn is more valuable, and Tower is gonna go down here. Attempted denial, but not gonna be successful. And Alliance just seemed to be just dominating this early game.
Oh boy, and S4, no, he's got the 10-minute blink.
I mean, look at the support levels of Fnatic. They're both level 3.
Oh.
It's 10 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and this game itself is also a design.
I don't know actually what the game plan is. Like, how do you come back from this? Suppose you can prioritize giving the lane. Like, I think they need to rotate the disaster actually of an early. Like, that guy needs 6 so badly. Just sitting here like looking for a potential kill, but the problem is Loda he knows it's coming, and he doesn't see any of the supports on the map. Team is off doing something and healing up in the well, so they're just going to TP back now to defend. And I don't really see an opening. Sure, you have Chronosphere, but the follow-up damage is nowhere near enough, especially when EGM is sitting behind him. And the fact that Loda also opts to go for Dragonlance, like 1200 HP against Fnatic's team, the fact that your Sven doesn't have max stun, I know this is a very common build, but still. They
can't jump on EGM's there. Yeah. And now, you know, S4's there as well to counter jump. And they do have mid one on the Invoker on the sidelines. If Fnatic try and fight here, it's going to be hard when they are just waiting for Ohio to get the Chronosphere back off cooldown. Then in fact it's going to be live streaming, and there's your Chronosphere. Ohio going in, getting two. S4 gets the silence onto the Invoker though, so he's limited in what he can throw out. Loda getting low, will fall down here, so they will find the kill on the Drow Ranger. Net looking for the TP out, he is going to be able to escape, nothing to cancel that one. Ohio pops the time dilation, will time walk away, but Bulldog, he's there, he's ready and waiting. S4 jumps forward as well, they'll get that kill, then S4, he's not done. He's looking for mid one is going to go for the TP out, nothing to cancel it, so will escape. Net as well. It looks like
See you
Ake.
later.
That's a 2-1. Alliance take the trade favorably, and again, another trade that Fnatic were just sitting there on the sidelines, spending what seemed like ages looking for.
Well, I guess the Venge got some experience out of that, so did the Earth Spirit. So the fact that they killed Loto was a pretty big deal for them, if only for the fact that their supports get closer to level 6. Magnetize is a pretty big deal, even though they do have 2 points into Voodoo Restoration and an Abaddon who can dispel it. A 6-second cooldown once it gets to level 7. Those things are a little bit of a nuisance, but man, the amount of impact that the supports of Fnatic had in the early game has just been nothing. Like, even just sitting in lanes and hitting creeps probably would have accomplished more than what they were able to in this game, and that's just due to Alliance's pretty much immaculate positioning, the fact that DJ spent so much time mid trying to hold down S4, and he's not even that far behind in terms of overall CS, and the fact, like you said earlier, 10-minute Blink Dagger. That time that he spent mid doesn't really feel like it did anything for him.
Deep in the mid, Bulldog. Boys, we're sent to Fnatic. Oh, that Ake ward placement! Pops the ward down, and I believe it was just down just before they smoked. Man, what a legend. Mushi, he's going to clear up the Ancients here. Life, they want to fight. In comes Bulldog, getting the S4, jumps in with a Dream Call onto 2, the silence as well onto Net, and to mid one, both falling low. Mid one tries to turn around, but he's gone and so's the Venge. Who dead on the side of Fnatic? And Alliance, they just... you can't deny it, they just seem to be playing on another level this game compared to Fnatic.
The weird thing about the lineup that they have is, most of the time when you have a Drow lineup, it's pretty easy to... Like, obviously the CS in the lane is going to be tough, but you can rotate, you can get easy kills because they have a Drow on their team. That hero is very easy to rotate on and kill. But with a Puck mid and a Weaver off lane, kind of circumvented that disadvantage because both the other lanes are difficult to go on, and you only have one hero who can reliably rotate. Maybe it would have been a better choice to just leave Mushi bottom and have both Avenge and the Earth Spirit together, because then at least you have a double disable, at the very least. You can go top, you can maybe force the Avid to TP, that leaves the Weaver alone versus Sven, still probably better than the way it worked out, but having the Earth Spirit by himself the entire game, and just having the Venge sit bottom to try to defend Mushi and help him get farm, ended up crippling any chance the Earth Spirit had of getting kills. Where is he supposed to go? He can't really dive the safe lane when he only has a Void off lane. It's just not going to work out.
And now the fact that for the next push, they of course got this Aegis on Bulldog as well. It's going to be even harder for Fnatic to try and take the fight. And S4 is out on his own. Ahaya does have a chrono, and I think he would be more than happy to use it to try and catch up. Oh! If it just couldn't look any worse for Fnatic, S4 just dances around them and just he goes to the toilet over the entire. That was just he was whoa. Fnatic, hello. Oh man!
I think that is pretty much the story of the game, so it's just not been a good game for them. Granted, the Sven is still farming pretty well, but the real issue lies in the fact that Alliance's lineup hasn't even really hit their peak yet, and they're already hitting at tier 3s at 15 minutes into the game. And with the Dragonlance on Loda, he's so far away from the tower that it's just so hard to go on him. No Sphere? Alliance are just like, okay, where's your team fight? Like, how do you stop it?
Bulldog's got he's got the time lapse, he's got the Aegis. It was the same of Ake with the Voodoo Restoration. There's no reason for them to stop. They'll take the tier 3.
I think they have, they have Magnetize. Okay, so could maybe fight this, but they need another Tornado EMP or a Sphere.
Done for onto 2, DJ running forward, but S4 gets the silence on straight away, the coil, the reaction from Alliance there, Ohio's down, they'll lose DJ and Net as well. It's a triple kill for Bulldog. And
Buildings that are...
I see the Tornado EMP coming out from mid one. EGM walking it off with the ultimate.
Oh, they're just gonna go for bottom, okay.
Okay.
That's... No, that's okay, because they know that Chronosphere is gonna be up in a little while, and they don't want to take a risk. Chronosphere is probably the only ability on the team that can actually stop them from pushing and result in kills at this point, because they're so far ahead. Like, even EGM has a ton of money. Like, Arcanes earn 1,300 gold. They're just gonna get the tower. They're gonna go back towards mid. They're spending quite a bit of time here.
Bulldog gonna be the one to do it. Goes in, chips away at the range rates. There's some of the range rates down a high, jumping forward, popping the time dilation. Tornado once again catching out Bulldog. They get the EMP down here as well. Bulldog, oh mana, but not too low, and he's gonna be top back up. Fine, he does not care too much about that. Lincoln Sphere now complete on Bulldog as well. He's just going from better to better. I've got to have a look at the net worth difference. Let's have a look at the graph. We're looking at over a 14k lead at 16 minutes in. I think this has got to be the most one-sided match we've seen so far in the major.
It's close. If it's not, it's definitely close. I'm kind of at a loss of what Fnatic can really do at this point. Like, I guess the only answer is just hit everyone with a Chronosphere, get a Magnetize on like 5 heroes, 5-man stun, 5-man stun, stuff like that. You know, the stuff that you think pretty much never happens in a team fight kind of needs to happen for Fnatic. Mushi is still farming very well. It's just he's not going to have a base left by the time he's actually able to come to a team fight. And the other thing too about Sven in this game is how is he going to hit anybody? Like, he has to deal with Puck Coil, so he needs BKB, and then he has to kill a Weaver and a Puck, who are 2 heroes that are insanely hard to focus.
I think we should start saying our prayers for the boy, because EGM and Bulldog are coming in with the wrap round. Mushi's all alone. Nobody's there beside him, and Alliance just close in on this Sven. No mercy for the boy. Get the slow through him, loaded with the blink, just closes the gap, finishes down the Sven. That's Mushi dead. And again, Alliance just finding these pickoffs and not getting punished for it at all. It just seems to be Fnatic are very limited in what they can do in return.
And just the story of the game is ever since the laning phase, it just seemed to be going downhill for Fnatic. Bottom lane was rough, middle lane, S4 was being held down a bit, but eventually even he just caught back up in farm. Mid one, I mean, he's been doing what he can, but the thing about Crossflex Invoker is all you can really do is slow this push. You can't kill anyone, which is why I thought that he might go for the XR build, but EGM.
Oh, I'm gonna look for EGM. Pops the ult. It's a nice 3-man chrono. Let's see how they follow it up. Done through them. They're gonna kill him his EGM here, but now the turnaround. The pass bouncing between two of them. There's your Death Ward as well. They've taken down the Earth Spirit. Ohio getting incredibly low. We'll get the time walk out. Mushi now coming in, gets the stun off onto Ake with a Ghost Strike as well, doing enough damage to clear down the Witch Doctor. Now turns his attention towards Bulldog. Bulldog does still have the Aegis. Pops it S4 with the silence onto 2, and now Luddy just sits down the back, choo-chooing away there with the right clicks. He'll take down Ohio on the Faceless Void, and now they'll look for the mid-racks. Forcing Mushi back in. Mushi now has lost the God Strength. Alliance, they'll just use this time to get themselves a full set of racks, or at least try to. Now they're playing a bit more careful. If they are heroes back on the map, and they'll actually get the stun, look down into the Stormhammer onto S4. Now they'll get the control onto the Puck, and they will find it. Fnatic are being able to defend this Rex for the time being. Dog, he's had to back off as well, and he's gonna hang around and try and find anything. They are a Puck down, but they're still slightly stronger than Fnatic at this point of the game. But it worked out. Fnatic, they keep their mid lane melee racks at least alive for the time being.
That was like one of the most awkward engagements ever for Alliance. Like, EGM sitting inside of the base, and he just like, I'm just gonna walk through this way. You know, why not? I got my ulti, everything's fine. Then they Chronosphere him, and as soon as the Ava dies, everyone else on the team becomes killable. I think that's one of the key factors is he ever pops his ultimate and doesn't really get anything from it, and Alliance aren't winning that team fight. They can focus him, and then after that point, the heroes that are most likely to die are probably Loda on Drow because he has no escape except for Blink and Ake. So find something off that if you're Fnatic, but I doubt, seriously doubt, EGM's gonna do that twice because that was a little bit of a clowny move.
The Bulldog desperately ready to go back in. He's got the backup of Alliance right behind him. They're ready to go. In fact, Ake, S4 and Loda are smoked up. Maybe Alliance trying to go for a little bit of a bait here, seeing if they can get Fnatic to jump on Bulldog or EGM. Might just go for the bait here if they see Bulldog, and here we go. He's chipping away at the racks. The stun will come out, will connect, but S4 jumps in with a Dream Core, the Waning Rift onto 2. Net will pop out the dust. Fight loading out for Alliance. The Chrono will come out. It's a nice one as well, catching out 3, but Ake's there on the sidelines with the Death Ward saying, get away from my boys, forcing Fnatic back. Mushi jumps in. Oh, the Stormhammer, it's a big one. The God Strength as well, cleaving down Alliance. Mushi, he has no mercy. He's taken down 1, he's taken down 2. Now look to try and find S4 as well. Can S4 get himself out of this? He gets the silence out with the damage. The SWAT bringing S4 back. Fnatic, they might be doing it. They might be bringing this one back already. S4, can he get out? He just get the blink. Mushi, can he chase this one down? He goes the wrong way, unfortunately. S4 gets himself down to the south. Will escape. But Fnatic, they're certainly
defend,
holding,
man.
Andy. They are defending.
This is insane, the fact that they're able to hold this so well. You gotta hand it to Mushi and the combination for mid one. He threw the Alacrity out as soon as the God Strength was on. Blank it's a 3-man stun. Like, that's probably the only way they're gonna be able to defend fights outside of a godlike sphere combo from Void. So that was extremely fortunate for them, and it does also give an opportunity here. And since Alliance are dead and backing to their side of the map, Fnatic see a chance, like, okay, we're gonna go smoke. And right now the Invoker is holding up 4,200 gold. I don't know if he's just... Is he going to go straight Ags? Does he go for... Orchid's not really that good because you're against a Baden. Maybe you can rely on time dilation to stop the Abbot from doing things.
There you go. Got the ult. Has he got the friends? He doesn't need them.
They are so scared.
And just walks it off.
That's probably the worst hero to find, actually. And bottom in the jungle, Ohio.
Fire.
OTP! Oh, not quite.
Bulldog's having a pretty good game, I can tell you that. Oh, look at the man in terms of stats. 7 kills, 6... hasn't died a single time here on the Weaver. And that is his complete Dessa. Yeah, it's the complete Dessa out as well. Double damage to boot. Bulldog. He's having a huge to this game, I can tell you that.
It's a really easy Weaver game, actually. The only way you die is if you get sphered and everything. But again, because the Invoker is not Exor, we're not even really that scared of the sphere yet.
He's going to use the DD to max potential with the Desolator going in there, force out the fortification immediately. Fnatic, they do not want to mess with that right click. I'm sure. Actually, you can send Bulldog back in. They are around, but last time we got to remember this fight didn't go too great for Alliance. Fnatic did capitalize on it very nicely.
Up, so they're probably just going to go Rosh.
Yeah. Aegis on board, and they'll be able to try and get a push down another lane. Let Bulldog look for the wrap, finish off the mid lane whilst they apply the pressure elsewhere.
I think they gave it to Loda this time, right?
No, actually, you've got the
last time they gave it to the Weaver, I think it's because they felt that Weaver's mobility in a team fight might be more valuable than giving it to Drow, because realistically, Loda with Dragon Lance and Blink Dagger should not really get initiated on, but we'll see. Looks like, yeah, they're just going to give it to Bulldog again, so... I guess he's the one who's going to be in the fight more than Loda. Loda's just going to be sitting on the periphery, just trying to siege Drax, slow siege style, but... Fnatic's still holding out for the time being. Feels like a war of attrition though, right? Eventually, Fnatic are gonna not execute properly, and then they're just gonna lose a Rax because it's exposed. Like this melee Rax middle lane is just like a timer. Gonna be either this push or the push after that.
If they can finish it off this time. They've attempted a few times to poke at it. No fortification available for Fnatic, and here we go. They'll try and finish the melee Rax. Lincoln's there, stun. It's not going to catch Bulldog, does catch EGM though. Nado and EMP looking for the Weaver, and I don't think that doesn't matter. And now with the Chronosphere, that is a good one indeed. But S4 jumping in, Coil onto 4, the silence as well. And now Loda, he sits there and starts to chip away at the side of Fnatic. Mushi coming in, throws out the stun. He's going to back himself away though, because Ake with the Death Ward pounding through Mushi. Double kill for Bulldog. There'll be a buyback from the Sven. Alliance, they'll turn towards the melee Rex. They'll finish them off at forcing out a buyback as well. From DJ on the Earth Spirit. 2 buybacks on cooldown. Alliance well might just look for another push on the bottom lane. They've still got that Aegis on Bulldog. Got away with it just now in the mid lane.
That cast.
Go for it again.
Cast going. It just annihilated Mushi.
He just couldn't move.
That is the worst feeling in the world.
There we go. Once again, as you said, the Quasrex combo coming out. It will slow down the push, but is he going to stop it? S4 jumping in with the silence onto DJ. If DJ goes down, that will be a dieback in the airspace. Admiral Bulldog trying to find him, but the magic missile comes through. Bulldog getting stunned up, getting healed up. Not enough. The Aegis will be popped here on Bulldog, but he is going to be back for the second life. Can they kill him again? They'll get the silence through here. He gets himself out though. Mushi's got the damage. Yes, he has. Mushi will take down 1. Now he turns towards the rest of Alliance again. Could they overstay their welcome? That's 2 dead. Ake now on the run. Fnatic, they should be able to find this. In fact, they're trying to look for the tornado on S4. Doesn't quite clip him, but they got the Hex. Mounted on mid 1. They'll burst down the fuck. They'll get Ake as well. 4 dead on the side of Alliance. Fnatic once again are holding up the defense. They lost the range racks. The melee racks in the bottom lane stay intact. And each and every time, huge gold swings going the way of the Radiant. Alliance, they need to be careful about how many fights like this they lose.
That was massive. Like the amount of money that was exchanged there, and the fact that Mushi's buyback is now okay because of the fact they defended. Like sure they lost the tier 3 and a range racks, but the range racks doesn't really matter, especially when you have a Sven on your team. That hero's wave clear is just ridiculous, and he's got blink mobility on top of that. So like you said, they can't afford to give too many more of those kind of fights away. I mean, Bulldog's diving into tier 4s. Like I know he has Lincolns and Aegis and everything, and he's even Weaver on top of that, but he just sits there and lets them slow siege. I don't think a fight ever kicks off that way. And it's not like Fnatic can really go into you unless you're having multiple heroes stand on top of each other for a sphere or a Sven stun. So I don't know why he was being so aggressive there, but it definitely cost them.
Mushi is coming on with the money he's saving up. So what do you think Mushi will go for next? Does he still go for the Blink Dagger for that extra route of initiation, or does he need to just beef himself up? Get a bit more damage online.
I think BKB is kind of necessary.
Okay.
Like when you have these items in particular, like Blink, SNY, Dom, having the BKB to supplement that means you're never gonna have that
Oh, sorry,
moment.
he's already got the blink. Sorry.
Yeah, he's got
Sorry.
Blink already.
It's a long day here.
It's
been
alright.
a very long day.
We forgive you, Owen. But
Thank you. S4. Will he be forgiven for this one? He's just got caught out by the Hex, and that's S4 gone.
that was a really good kill.
Loader won't be happy.
He's got buyback, so we'll
Hey,
see
yeah,
if Alliance wanna maybe chase this out.
And a little bit of a T-Toss. Let's get ourselves back. Thanks. There we go. Bulldog chasing down mid one. And protection on himself. Still hot on the tracks there. This one out. He's lost his shot. One will be able to get himself. Backer was a little bit too far away anyway for Bulldog. Followed through.
Feels like a little bit of a theme this series, doesn't it? It's like when a team has a pretty significant advantage and is pushing, and then they kind of go a little bit too deep and then throw away a lead. Because that's what happened in the first game, right? Like Fnatic go on Loda, they end up putting themselves in a position where Spectre buys back, kills them all because they went for the wrong target and want to try to end the game. And I'm not saying it's going to be the repeat here for Alliance, but it kind of felt similar to me, the way that they just tried to go way too aggressive on high ground and then ended up getting punished for it.
Bottom lane. Fnatic building up the courage. Try and go for a push here. Mid one in the neighbourhood. And he's going to find himself an arcane rune. Very nice here for the Invoker. Up does kick off. Fnatic just holding back holding out the defense. And going to stick around in this bottom lane with Nat. He goes for something here. For the moment, the lone defender. Going to see Weaver come across as well, but they get the swap and the Hex onto S4. Beautiful pick off there from Fnatic. Absolutely ruthless, and that is a second kill onto the puck within a matter of minutes.
And every time he's dead, the initiation potential from Alliance is like gone. He's the only hero on their team with catch. Like sure, I guess Loda could potentially blink in and throw out a gust, but that's not really the hero you want to be frontlining for your team. Especially when you're kind of losing vision right now. They only have one ward on the map, Alliance, so puck being dead, not having the vision control at this point, this is the first time outside of like maybe the first couple minutes where Fnatic feel like they're not just confined to their base. That is a really good thing for them, because Ohio, he's got his Blink Dagger now. Mushi's continuing to farm up, he finished that BKB we saw a couple of seconds ago. Things are starting to happen here for Fnatic, and that one move bottom come back to bite Alliance really hard.
Is eyeing up Ake. Mid one's coming up as well on the Invoker. Ake with the Glimmer Cape starting to back off Ohio. Thinking about going for the blind chrono there to see if he could catch Ake out. But he holds on to it, and Ake's life will be spared there as he's able to escape with the Glimmer Cape.
That was pretty fortunate. I think it's actually okay to throw a solo chrono too on a support at this point. Because every hero that dies, it just makes Alliance have less incentive to be going out and looking for their own kills, you know? Like every kill is map control at this point, which is something that Fnatic are going to be more than happy to take. It doesn't even really matter if they like push a tower or anything like that. A kill means that Roshan's obviously not up, but if it was, Alliance wouldn't be able to go for it anyway, given the circumstances, and starting to get more and more scary, like that team fight's going to come online. The more levels that mid one gets too, we often forget this when we see Quaswex and Boker, but it's going to get more points for meteor damage and sunstrikes, and the Chronosphere is going to become scarier and scarier as the game kind of rolls out. And this guy had just a Hex a couple of minutes ago, it seems like, and now he's got a full Shivas on top of it.
Recovery indeed from the team as a whole. We are starting to see on the graph it is kind of leveled off around the 10k overall net worth difference. Fnatic yet to really swing it back round, but you just look at the rate that was increasing. We're 15 minutes in, Alliance pretty much 15,000 gold ahead. So when that happens, then you're able to suddenly slow that growth down and begin to swing it back. It is a huge change in just the flow and momentum of this game that Fnatic would be very happy that they found the power to swing it back with.
A little bit scary for Alliance. This is the kind of lineup though where all it takes is like that one fight, and if you have a Drow lineup with a bunch of ranged heroes like Weaver with Deso, you can kill the base very quickly. Problem is, Fnatic can actually team fight now. They got BKB on Sven, they got Void with Blink. All the tools that are necessary to go in outside of the base are now available. They don't have to play a one-dimensional game where they're just waiting for Alliance to come to them, seizing that tier 3. Now they can make their own moves, which is why Alliance are poised so defensively. I smoked into that word as well, so don't think this.
Interesting said though, so the first low soul picked up in this patch by Witch Doctor.
Yeah, it's really good this game though. Like
That's great for Weaver.
Well, it's great for Weaver, and it's great for the fact that mid one has Hex. So
Yeah.
Whoever gets hexed, you just Lotus Orb him to spell. Then it's probably going to be S4 or, you know... I probably won't be Bulldog because he has Lincoln's. Fnatic holding on though, man. This is very impressive, by the way, that Fnatic managed to hold the way they did against the kind of advantage that Alliance had. If they come back and win this game, easily the biggest comeback of the tournament.
And, so the party does have the money now for his Agony.
Yeah,
He's brought it up.
Ags is actually... Ags is super good against that team. First off, you time walk, you get stunned for 5 seconds. If you try to get out of it, means you could potentially die. Goes through BKB, at least the break. So if you hit Mushi with it and he's BKB'd and he's trying to chase somebody down, he hits the tether stun. Then 10-second BKB is pretty much halved because you spent half of that disabled. And because they're both melee cores, they obviously need to be able to chase. So it can be a strong tool for kiting people out inside of the fights.
The next point, I guess it's just going to be Alliance waiting for Roshan once.
I guess, but...
And
well,
maybe they'll want to just find the pick off first.
Get the pick and Roche. Oh man, see that's the thing, like, does it even really win them the game at this point? Like, Mushi's farm. The guy's going out of control. He's the highest net worth in the game, and the guy hasn't really had a map to farm for the better part.
Oh, Hio. He's just jumped. That one does get swapped out, bailed out by Net. S4 with the S4 rune hanging around the backside, and there comes your Chrono onto EGM and Emerald Bulldog, but can't do much. There's Ake load on the side, that's going to force Fnatic to back up. Now Mushi coming over the stun, Ake getting destroyed by the Sven. Now he turns toward Bulldog. Bulldog, he wants to get onto one, time lapses himself back. S4's been silenced up, caught out as well. But now S4 will use himself, can he live? He gets the shield off, he's going to be fine. Ohio has to back himself away. Bulldog doing a little bit too much there with the damage. The Storm Howler coming out to EGM. Now Alliance to maybe go back in, they want to continue to chase, they'll get the start onto Mushi, DJ's been caught out as well, the Dream Coil coming through, and that's going to be your long break stun onto Mushi, the silence from S4 catching both of them out, they've taken down the Earth Spirit and they force the rest of the side of Fnatic back to their base, and Alliance are able to come out on top of that fight there.
Man, that was such a good coil actually. He interrupted DJ's roll as well, so instead of him just rolling away and being safe, he ends up dying for it, although I guess you could argue that it might have saved Mushi, because if he rolls away maybe they kill his Sven of the Earth Spirit, but really nice fight coming in from Alliance, and excellent reaction time from EGM. I think he like ulted as soon as the sphere was coming out, and obviously you can't go for an Abaddon inside of a sphere, and that initiation of itself, I think as soon as it happened, Fnatic realized this fight's probably not going to go our way, and not being able to finish off S4 either was a little bit of a bummer. So Roshan going the way of Alliance, that's another Aegis on the Weaver
as well for S4.
Like I was saying, man, it just takes one fight. That's kind of the problem when you're playing from this far behind, as Fnatic have been for such a long time. As impressive as it is to hold on and take these team fights the way that they have been, it's kind of like one mistake is amplified so much more when you have this kind of deficit to overcome.
Play. Alliance. As you said, all eyes on Mushi really at this point. He's 3k gold in the bank.
He kind of needs to buy crit, I think.
Does he need to make sure that he's always got buyback?
Or actually,
is he going to have to go all in?
He could go AC. Yeah, looks like he has got Hyperstone already, okay. So. Man, it makes him extremely tanky. The big thing about Sven, I think, is in this game he's kind of the only real frontliner. Because if he eats a silence, he can BKB. Void can't really do that. He needs to be counter initiation anyway.
Don't flying through. We'll just catch EGM Bulldog back up to the high ground. Magic Missile will catch him out. Can't go in on that one. Too apprehensive with the fact Alliance indeed are they're ready to back up Bulldog and still have that Aegis. Put himself back and continue to hit away at the melee wreck. They do have a fort available on the side of Fnatic. Can continue to hold this one, but they are slowly losing this bottom lane barracks, and there's your jump in a higher. Bulldog. Silence onto DJ, the Gust will catch him, he gets still swapped out, and that's there with the save. One more. The Generate should be able to do it. They're not in a rush here, Alliance. Play this one safely, and Bulldog getting himself ready to go back in, and in we go, and that will be the bottom lane that racks down. And the side of Alliance slowly chipping away, but the job. Increasingly weakening the lineup of Fnatic.
Hard position as well for Fnatic to be in. Like, when you watch that scene, kind of just helpless. Jump in and you try to sphere, you're sphering a hero that has Aegis. So you kind of need Bulldog to do what he did before when he just like dove the tier 4s, and that was the difference, right? Like I talked about it when it happened. It's a matter of hitting the building and not diving. If they had done that the first time when they were bottom, the game probably would have been over by now, and Alliance would have had the 2-0. But it gets delayed out, much to Fnatic's enjoyment, I'm sure. Now they're looking at defending the last set of racks, but man, it is an uphill battle to say the least. They do have Veil though. I think Earth Spirit's actually had it for quite a while. The Invoker is starting to get a little bit more points, and Exor is sitting at 4 right now. I imagine he probably goes for the Aghanim soon, just so we can have a better combo. And I think a good Sphere could actually win them a team fight. Like, you can kill S4 inside of it before he pops the cheese. He's only got 1300 health, that's not much. Especially when you have more points for Meteor and a Sunstrike, but still. Alliance, they only got 1 set of racks to go.
Butterfly on unloaded it. He's going to be packing an absolute punch. And just the damage, of course, that he's giving to the rest of the team at the moment. What's he kicking out? It's a plus 74 each extra hero.
Yeah,
And that's an
pretty
insane amount. So Fnatic struggle to stop the push on the bottom lane just now. Now Alliance getting ready to go in for the finishing blow. They're ready to get themselves in on the top lane. And the just physical damage is absolutely insane. Fnatic, they need to find the perfect jump and the perfect combo. They want to have a hope of defending this. Alliance, they know that they've got the upper hand at the point. This Bulldog straight in. Fully. Couple of hits, the Manta illusions as well from Drow. What do you do for that? You need to find that Chronos, so you need to find something. Ohio, and they're desperately positioning themselves, looking for some kind of opening to jump in on Alliance.
Problem is, Void's really bad in these situations. He's really bad when the enemy team can slow siege, and you have no target that you can sphere and kill and make it matter. Like, this is the worst case scenario for him. If he jumps in, he kills the Weaver respawns, he has no ult, and he might get silenced and just die, and no one's pumping.
Swap onto Bulldog. The follow-up, and that's going to be it. Ohio getting the chrono through. Mushi jumping forward. Loader blinks to disjoint the Stormhammer, and now he turns. Trying to look for the right clicks. Mushi fairly tanky with the Warcry. Forces back to the side of Alliance. In fact, they're going to lose one here. They lose Ake. Bulldog, he's trying to clean up people on the backlines. Loader's going to be the one caught out by the stuns. Chained up by Fnatic, and now he's got to run. He'll lead the Chief, but now he's dead. They've got him. That's going to be 2 dead. Make that 3. EGMs get taken down as well from Fnatic. They are doing it. They're holding on with this defense just when it was needed. And it just leaves S4 and Bulldog to get themselves the hell out of there. Fnatic again, these fights incredibly costly for Alliance.
How did that go so badly? Like, at the beginning of that fight, he spheres the one hero that pretty much can't be killed. He spheres Weaver, he walks around for a little while. Mushi pops his BKB, gets coiled, and then has to walk around in circles for pretty much the entire duration of it because he can't hit anything. But I suppose the real issue that Alliance are running into right now, and this is going to sound kind of funny because most of the game we were talking about how hard they hit, but they kind of lack physical damage against the Sven. Like, Sven pops Warcry, and he has, what, 45 armor with Warcry on, and if he's next to the Vlads as well from the Void, so you can't really kill him with physical damage. All you can do is kite him around. You kind of just try to have to ignore him as long as you can, and then by the time BKB wears off, then you can kill him with Drow and just kite him. But it doesn't really seem like they have a great answer for Mushi at this point, except for try really hard not to get hit.
The Fnatic holding on. So that net worth, it's pretty much stayed constant wavering level around that 10k. Still an advance for Alliance, but struggling to push it over the edge. Now still holding on to that final set of racks for Fnatic, so still very much in this game. On the back foot.
The scary thing to think about is Mushi does so much damage, and he doesn't have his Daedalus yet. Like, he went for the Moonshard, so he went all attack speed. Which means that when he buys Daedalus, the effective DPS increase he's going to get is nuts. And he has Alacrity on him as well. He gets like 1 or 2 crits. Whoever he's touching is going to explode. Doesn't matter if you have, you know, Abaddon or not. Like, he can actually kill him without the ult even going off.
Who's going to be the team to make the jump? Both sides having the full 5-man. Looking for an opening. Spot out mid one. Mid one has got the entirety of Fnatic in the sidelines. Move in with the Forge Spirits. Looking to finish off the tier 1, opening up a bit of control. S4, he's smoked up, he's looking for that perfect jump.
Didn't even get the tower deny, man. Mid one actually got the last hit. Pretty much puts Mushi at his Daedalus too if he wants to go all in. I assume he's just gonna save for buyback though. Dangerous to an item at this point when you know the enemy team is going to be pushing.
Fnatic very smartly just back.
Just imagine, like, if the laning phase wasn't super bad, Fnatic. I
They'd be
think
in
this
a very
game.
good place.
Yeah, I think this game would have been actually quite easy for them at this stage.
It's exactly what you said as well. Mushi does go all in, or at least he's picked up the Chrysalis and the recipe.
I don't think he will
Do you
go
think
all
he
in
will
right
save?
now.
Okay, just keep a buyback.
It's way too much of a risk.
Yeah.
Like, because of the fact that his BKB duration is getting a little bit shorter, like 8 seconds seems like a pretty long BKB. But if you imagine he gets coiled,
Yes.
then it's like, okay, well, minimum 5 seconds of that BKB is gonna be gone. So it's a little bit rough in terms of mobility for him in fights, and that means that if he dies and he has Daedalus and the buyback, that will be Megas.
Jan? It is going to be right back up there in Ake. A bit of a master there. In the pit at the right time. The Alliance almost certainly go for that before trying to commit for the push again. And Bulldog, he's got his Demon Edge, he's got his Hyperstone. He's building a bit of everything here. As we mentioned before, still that damage that Loda is sharing out with the team. Reaching 9 on to plus 8, 79 at the moment.
Well, I think the bigger factor here is the way that the Roshan sieges have gone last time. Like, they get Rosh, they get a Rax. They get Roshan, they get another Rax. If they can do that just one more time, Megas becomes a completely different game. You could actually defend Megas with the team. That's the crazy part, because they have Sven, Dominator, and an insane amount of farm. But in order to pressure the map at that point, you kind of need 2 heroes who can clear waves fairly consistently and also aren't gonna die. But here comes the smoke. Fnatic want to try to prevent Alliance from getting to that stage where they just get that extra cheese, they get that extra Roshan one more time. If they can prevent them from getting this, that would actually be huge, but they are rotating in.
Yeah, they smoke straight into the ward from Alliance, so Alliance well aware what's going on.
Yeah. They're gonna see Mushi in the base and they're just gonna go for Rosh. Without Mushi, they're very...
Oh, Bulldog come around the outside and he will get caught out here. The chain's on and they've got the chrono. It's perfect. They're able to find the kill onto Bulldog. Can they find themselves anything else? The Dream Collar onto 3. S4 jumping forward, but the BKB coming out from mid 1. Starts to come off. Loader on the high ground now starts to hit away down onto the net. He'll be able to keep himself alive, but the rest of Fnatic are beginning to melt. They've lost mid 1. They're going to lose DJ. Net will finally go down as well. It's a double kill for Bulldog. 3 dead on the side of Fnatic. Ahio able to TP out, and Mushi wasn't able to get himself stuck into that one. Did require the buyback from Bulldog. I think Alliance will take that fight any time because it's going to mean Aegis and Cheese going their way as well.
Honestly, that swap actually helped Loda. Like, Net swapped him up into a position.
And Loda's like, alright.
He's like a turret at that point, right? Like, he's got Dragonlance, he's just hitting away. Quite happy about that. Or no, he doesn't have Dragonlance anymore, I guess, but... I don't know, that was a really awkward engagement. As soon as they killed Bulldog, he can just back out, right? But I suppose the initiation range of S4 is a little bit too great at this point to just be able to get away scot-free with the kill. But comes the potential last siege. Oh man, Invoker really doesn't want to have to buy back here, but he may have
closer
to.
From Alliance.
They have Glyph, but he actually can't. Yeah, he has to buy back.
See what they can do. Alright. And get the time dilation out onto Bulldog. This is, I mean, we have seen them do it. We can't say it's impossible.
They've defended multiple times.
They have defended multiple times and against Aegis pushes as well.
Yeah.
Fnatic, they've certainly got it in them. And every time getting harder and harder here for the side, and the fact that they have got the 6 minutes now where Invoker will not have buyback available. Boy, he was sitting on about 5k gold a second ago. As he spent it, now he's still a rich man. 5.5k gold here in the pocket of the puck. The AC. So something else, just to finish off. The gap closer, just closing the game off in terms of destroying the structure.
It's a rough game for Fnatic, man. Like I definitely feel for
It
them.
is a rough game, but it just feels like we've seen this kind of come around many times before this game, and they're still able to fight through it.
Yeah.
The AC is certainly going to make it harder.
Yeah, the longer the game goes, like, you're gonna start seeing Hexes soon too on Alliance. Like, I'm sure S4, he might even just run up with the money that he has because it's so good against Sven, and it's really good for just being able to secure a kill on a hero.
And with Loda, interesting enough as well, going for the Aghanims on the draft. I mean, we're talking about the fact that we don't see a lot of draft Ranger. And we certainly don't see a lot of games where the Drought is able to pick up the Aghanim.
I suppose one of those items that you normally think of as a farming item, but if you want to push the lanes in, you already have a huge amount of damage. If the melee cores are standing next to each other, like 3 of 5 of the members of Fnatic are all melee, the damage that you deal with that is not to be underestimated.
See what happens now. Alliance just keeping the pressure on. Of course, pretty much full control of the map here. Fnatic just having to stay in the base. Fnatic at this point, can they afford to do anything like smoke out, or do they just need to wait for Alliance to jump in?
I think they need to wait. It's really, really hard because at this stage you're playing against odds, right? Like obviously, just check, no smokes right now. If they were to go for a smoke, they're fighting into the hardest possible fight they can get because they're outside of their base, fighting into Cheese, they're fighting into Aegis. And honestly, it seems like a very low probability fight, not worth taking the risk. If you have buybacks and you're sitting inside of your base, you have the high ground advantage, you have vision, well, like they even place a ward and a sentry to make sure that they can see everything that's going to be coming their way. That gives you the best probability of winning the engagement, even if it's still not good. Even if it's only like a few % higher. No, that's better than running out into the map than finding a fight that you can't win, dying and then being forced to buy back anyway.
Yeah, that's the point of the game, and Alliance seem very content to just hold it as is. To go to Rational, and 5.4k on Mushi. What does he pick up? What is the game-winning item here for? Are we going to see Rapier time come out? And are they just always more efficient, even at this point of the game?
I don't know if there's like one item that's going to completely change the game. I would even say something like Refresher is good. There's double God Strength, double BKB, you know, even just having 2 stuns, like all that stuff is... Refresher is just a very strong item when you have BKB Blink together on a hero who is cooldown based. Like he needs his ult really to be a huge threat inside of these team fights. I don't think he'll even take that route. It just depends on what he's feeling. He'll eat his Moonshard. He might finish AC himself, just to give him a little bit more survivability, considering the fact that Weaver now has Deso and AC, so that's quite a bit minus armor that he's going to be fighting into. But I would actually like to see a Refresher. So.
Going forward, Alliance. Oh, the attempt to break high ground. Oh, okay. Mushi getting the hits in onto Bulldog. Bulldog, get off the Shikuchi, get back. Aho gets the bash and they'll take him down once. That's going to be the Aegis gone. S4 on the front lines, gets the coil out onto 2. The himself could be in trouble. We'll get a phase shift off. EGM now with the ult. Home toe with Mushi now with the Death Ward loader. Out with the Frost Arrows. Mushi trying to get himself back to base, falling low, and he's possibly going to fall down. No, he lives. Mushi, whoa, no! Finally goes down. Weaver finding the last pick there with a swarm, and Alliance will finish off the top racks. That's going to be mega creeps now for the side of Alliance, and Fnatic, can they hold on to this one? Looks like Mid one's in trouble. He's been hexed up. EGM forcing the Invoker back to the base. It's a double kill for Bulldog. Ohio just time walking himself back towards the fountain. There's a buyback on DJ on his Spirit, but there's still a Vengeful Spirit dead. Ohio jumps forward with a time dilation, desperately trying to find something, but the tier 4s are down. Alliance looking to do it. Mushi has got the God Strength, 25 by EGM, he's got the ult again, he just tanks it up. The cleave damage still affecting Bulldog, he'll have to shoot himself away, but now he turns, he goes back in. Mushi's been hexed up, Mushi's been taken down, 3 dead on Fnatic. GG is called, and Alliance will take the series 2-0. 50 minutes in, they took their time. It looked a little bit rocky for Fnatic. They certainly put up an incredible fight after you consider how bad the early game, the laning stage went for them. But Alliance, they do it, and Alliance is certainly looking on form this major.
I think you could say Fnatic did a great job of defending, but you could also say that Bulldog probably shouldn't have dove tier towers when they were pushing bottom. That was the point in the game where Fnatic pretty much shouldn't have a leg to stand on, and Bulldog kind of made a play that let them... Yeah, he went a little bit too ham. But you know what happens? They still secure the win. Took him a little bit longer than maybe it should have, but nonetheless, I really loved Alliance's draft. It seemed like they let through 2 heroes in a row against Fnatic that a lot of people just don't want to deal with, and they had great answers for both. Fnatic, they've been showing that they like to pick Leshrac, a lot of teams ban it. They picked Oracle, worked out really good in the first game. This game, they let